Samsaradava Nalalita Loka Tranaya Karuna Kana Kana Tvam Praptasya Kalana Gunarnavasya Vande Guroshi Charanaravindam Mahaprabhu Kirtana Nritya Gita Vaditra Madhyam Manasora Sena Romanchakam Pashutaranga Bhajo Vande Guroshi Charanaravindam Shivikrahara Dhananityanana Shingara Dhammantira Marjanado Yutasya Bhaktan Chaniyunjatopi Vande Guroshi Charanaravindam Chaturvidhashi Bhagavat Prasada Sadhana Tripta Hari Bhakta Sangha Kriteva Triptim Padatasadaiva Vande Guroshi Charanaravindam Shiradhika Mahatava Para Madhurya Lila Gunarupa Namnam Pratishana Sadanalolupasya Vande Guroshi Charanaravindam Nikunja Yuno Ratikere Sitai Yayari Pe Yuktera Pesaniya Tathratita Shati Vallabhasa Vande Guroshi Charanaravindam Sashatharitena Samasta Shastre Uttasthatha Bhaviteva Sadbhihi Kintu Prabhoya Piyeva Tassa Vande Guroshi Charanaravindam Yasya prasada bhagavat prasado Yasya prasada nakati kutopi Jayam suvam stasya yashasti santhyam Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pachatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Chaitanya Nityananda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Chaitanya Nityananda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Nila Madhurata Nila Madhusi Radhe. Jaya Radha Nila Madhurata Nila Madhusi Radhe. Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Jaya Sudarshana. Jaya Sitaram Jaya Lakshman Hanuman Jaya Sitaram Jaya Lakshman Hanuman. Jaya Lakshmi Narasingha Jaya Lakshmi Narasingha Jaya Lakshmi Narasingha Jaya Lakshmi Narasingha. Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jai Om Shinu Pada Brahmamsa Pajaka Acharya Shtota Shata Shishma His Divine Grace Aparachana Vrinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON PPTPI Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Shinu Pada Brahmamsa Pajaka Acharya Shtota Shata Shishma His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Nama Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Premi se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Vardhapurmi Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Shri Navadvip Mayapur Dham Ki Jai. Shri Purushottam Chaitra Jagannath-puri Dham Ki Jai. Shri Ayodhya Dham Ki Jai. Ganga Mai Ki Jai. Yamuna Mai Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Samavrita Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Harinama Sankirtan Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari. All glories to the Sambho devotees. All glories to the Sambho devotees. All glories to the Sambho devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Praladadayine. Hiranyakashipurvashaha. शीलटङ्कानकालाये इतो नरसिंह परतो नरसिंह यतो यतो यामि ततो नरसिंह बहिर्नरसिंहो हृदये नरसिंहो नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपदे नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपदे तव करकमलवरेणकाम् अद्भुतशृङ्गा दालिता हिरण्यकशिपुतनुभृङ्गाम् केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय भक्ता प्रहलाद जय भक्ता प्रहलाद जय भक्ता प्रहलाद जय भक्ता प्रहलाद निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल नरसिंहदेव भगवान की भक्त शिरोमणि प्रहलाद महाराज की श्रील प्रभुपाद की वृंदाय तुलसी देव्याय प्रियाय केशवस्य च विष्णु भक्ति प्रद देवी सत्यवत्याय नमो नमः वृंद्याय तुलसी देव्याय प्रियाय केशवस्य च विष्णु भक्ति प्रद देवी सत्यवत्याय नमो नमः वृंध्याय तुलसी देव्याय प्रियाय केशवस्य च विष्णु भक्ति प्रदे देवी सत्यवत्याय नमो नमः। जय श्रीमती तुलसी महारानी की जय।
नमो नमः तुलसी कृष्ण प्रेयसी नमो नमः तुलसी कृष्ण प्रेयसी नमो नमः राधा कृष्ण सेवा पाओ ऐ अभिलाषी राधा कृष्ण सेवा पाओ ऐ अभिलाषी चैतमारा शरण लो तारा वंशा पूर्ण हो कृपा कोरी कर तारे वृंदावन वासी मोरा अभिलाष विलास कुंज दियो वास नयने हरिबो सदा युगल रूप राशि निवेदन धारो सखेर अनुगत गुरु सेवाधिकार दिए करो निज दासी दीना कृष्ण दास कोई ऐ जिना मोरा होए श्री राधा गोविंद प्रेम सदा न भासी श्री राधा गोविंद प्रेम सदा न भासी यानि कानि च पापानि ब्रह्महत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिण पदे पदे यानि कानि च पापानि ब्रह्महत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ते प्रदक्षिणा पदे पदे यानि कानि च पापानि ब्रह्महत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिणा पदे पदे Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. जय तुलसी महारानी जय तुलसी महारानी जय तुलसी महारानी जय तुलसी महारानी जय वृंदा देवी जय वृंदा देवी जय वृंदा देवी जय वृंदा देवी निताय गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल वृंदाय तुलसीदेवाय प्रियाय केशवस्य च विष्णु भक्ति प्रदे देवी सत्यवताय नमो नमः श्री वृंदाय तुलसीदेवाय प्रियाय केशवस्य च विष्णु भक्ति प्रदे देवी सत्यवताय नमो नमः वृंदाय तुलसीदेवाय प्रियाय केशवस्य च विष्णु भक्ति प्रदे देवी सत्यवताय नमो नमः श्री वृंदा देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय।
Behold the beautiful paths of Radha and Krishna. I beg to make me follow Karha and Souls Virgin. Please give me the preach devotional service and make me your own maid servant. This very fallen lowly servant of Krishna praise. May I always swim the love Shri Radha and Govinda. Shrimati Tulsi Maharani ki jai. There are 10 fences in the matter of chanting holy names that should be avoided, and they are as follows. 1. To blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated life for propagating holy name the Lord. 2. To consider name the demigods Lord Shiva or Brahma to be equal to independent and name Lord Vishnu. 3. To disobey the orders of spiritual master. 4. To blaspheme the Vedic literature or literature pursuing the Vedic version. 5. To consider glorious chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination. 6. To give some interpretation to holy name the Lord. 7. To commit sinful activities and strength of chanting holy name. 8. To consider chanting Hare Krishna when the auspicious ritualistic activities, offering the Veda, the fruity activities, karma, ganda. 9. To instruct a faithless person about glorious holy name. 10. To not complete faith in the chanting holy names, and to maintain material attachments even after standing so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to Vaishnava must carefully guard against these 10 offenses in order to quickly achieve desired success. Krishna Prema. Now let us offer our most humble obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They are just as thy trees who can fulfill to everyone, and are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. Shri Chaitanya Shikshastakam ki jai. Cheto Darpana Marjanam Bhava Mahatavagni Nirvapanam Shriya Kairava Chantrika Vitaranam Vidyavatu Jivanam Anandam Pudivardhanam Pratipadam Purunarmita Swadanam Sarvatmasnapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatrapita Niyamita Smaranena Kalaha Etadesi Tava Kripa Bhagavam Mamapi Durudevami Disham Iha Janina Nurakaha Turinatapi Sunijena Tarorapi Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadaharihi Na Dhanam Na Janam Na Sundarim Kavitam Vajagadisha Kamaye Mama Jamani Jamanishvare Bhavata Bhaktir Haituki Tvai Ayinanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitam Man Vishame Pavam Bhuta Kripaya Tava Pada Pankaja Sthita Duri Satesham Vichintaya Nayanam Galadashuru Daraya Vatnam Gat Gada Rudaya Kira Pulakai Nichitam Vapurkada Tava Nama Karhane Pavishati Yuga itam nimishena chakshusha pravisha itam shunya itam jagat sarvam govinda virahe name ashrisha va padaratam pinnastumam adarsanam marmhatam karotu va yatha tatha va vidathatu lampato matprananathastu sa eva na paraha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Shri Chaitanya Shikshastakam ki jai. Glory to Shri Krishna Sankirtana, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and distinguishes fire conditional life, repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is prime benediction for humanity at large because it expresses a race of benediction moon. It's the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and enables us to fully taste the nectar for which always anxious. Oh my Lord, your holy name alone grants all benediction human beings. Thus we have hundreds of millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, I invested all your transcendental energies. They are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. Oh my Lord, out kindness enables us to easily approach you by your holy names, but I'm so unfortunate I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more taller than the tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor to desire beautiful women, nor do I want any noble followers. I want to devotion service, birth after birth. O Son of Mahananda Krishna, I'm eternal servitor, yet somehow I fall in the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one Adam to lotus feet. O my Lord, while my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name, while my voice choke up, or hairs my body stand end to recitation of your name. O Govinda, feeling of separation, I'm considered a moment to be like a great millennium. Tears are flowing from eyes like torrents of rain, and I'm feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so if he handles me roughly by his embrace, or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything, everything, for he is always my worshipable Lord, unconditionally. Shri Chaitanya Shikshastakam ki jai. Shri Mangala Charna prayers ki jai. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jananjana Shalakaya Chakshum Litam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manopishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Ragnatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadhuitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakham Vitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nivishesha Shunyavadi Pachatya Desha Darine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine Shri Varshabhanivi Devi Daitaya Kripabdaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryo Jala Premadya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktita Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dina Darine Rupanuga Virudapa Siddhanta Dvanta Harine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshad Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambara Sambodhe Padam Bhujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidananda Namini Gaura Shakti Svarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gaura Virbhava Bhumistvam Nirdeshta Sajanapriyaha Vaishnava Sarabhama Shri Jaganathaya Te Namaha Vancha Kalpatarupishcha Kripa Sindhu Bhevacha Patitanam Bhavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratishe Namaha Pancha Tattvatmakam Krishna Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Jayatam Sratoro Pango Mamamanda Matergati Masarva Swapadam Bojo Radha Madana Mohano Divya Vindadana Kalpadumada Shimadra Nagara Sinhasanasto Shimad Radha Shila Govinda Devo Prishtari Bi Sevyamano Smarami Shiman Rasa Rasarambi Vamsi Vata Tatastitaha Karsham Venu Soner Gopir Gopinatha Shriyestunaha Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Panamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Shri Mangala Charnam prayers ki jai Shri Brahma Samhita ki jai Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradi Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam Chintamani Parakara Satma Sukhapaviksha Lakshariteshu Surabhi Rabi Palayantam Lakshmi Sahasa Shatasam Brahmasevyamanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Venun Kavanantam Aravinda Dalaya Daksham Parharvatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Gandharvagoti Gamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Alola Chantaka Lasavana Madhavamshi Ranangadam Panayakeli Kalavilasam Shamam Tripanga Laditam Yata Prakasham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Angani Yasya Sakalendriya Vritimanti Pashanti Panti Karayanti Chiram Jaganti Ananda Chimma Sadujala Vigrahasya Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Advaitam Achotam Anadi Mananta Rupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayovanam Cha Vedeshu Durabam Adurabam Atma Bhakta Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Pantastu Koti Shatavassara Sampragamyo Vayuratapi Manaso Munipangavanan Sopyasti Yapapata Simya Vichinta Tatve Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Pantastu Koti Shatavassara Sampragamyo Vayuratapi Manaso Munipangavanan Sopyasti Yapapata Simya Vichinta Tatve Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Ekopya Sara Chayitum Jagadanta Kotim Ya Chakti Rasti Jagadanta Chaya Yatantaha Antantarastha Paramanu Chayantarastham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Pajami यद्भावपावितधियो मनुजास्तथैव सम्प्राप्य रूपमहिमा सनयानपूषः सूक्तयम् एव निगमपठितास्तुवन्ति गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि आनन्दचिन्मरसपरिभावितापि तापि एवं च रूपतया कलापिः गोलोक एव निवसते किलात्मभूतो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि प्रेमाञ्जनचुरुतभक्तिविलोचनेन सन्तः सदैव हृदयेषु विलोकयन्ति यं श्यामसुन्दरमचिन्त्य गुणस्वरूपं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि रामादिमूर्तिषु कलानियमेन तिष्ठन् नानावतारमकरो भुवनेषु किन्तु Krishna Swayam Samabhava Paramapumam Yo Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Krishna, who is Govinda, the Supreme Godhead, he has internal blissful spiritual body. He is the origin of all. He has no other origin and is the prime cause of all causes.
Who is tending the cows, yielding all desire in abodes built with spiritual gems, surrounded by millions of purpose trees, always served with great reverence and affection by hundreds of thousands of Lakshmis or Gopis. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is adept in playing on his flute with blooming eyes like lotus petals, with head decked with peacock's feather, with a figure of beauty tinged with the hue of blue clouds, and his unique loveliness charming millions of cupids. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is adept in playing on his flute with blooming eyes like lotus petals, with head decked with peacock's feather, with a figure of beauty tinged with the hue of blue clouds, and his unique loveliness charming millions of cupids.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, round whose neck is swinging a garland of flowers beautified with the moon locket, whose 2 hands are adorned with the flute and jeweled ornaments, who always revels in pastimes of love, whose graceful threefold bending form of Shyam Sundara is eternally manifest.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, whose transcendental form is full of bliss, truth, substantiality, and his thirst full of the most dazzling splendor. Each of the limbs of that transcendental figure possesses in himself the full-fledged functions of all the organs, and eternally sees, maintains, and manifests the infinite universes, both spiritual and mundane.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is inaccessible to the Vedas, but obtainable by pure unalloyed devotion of the soul, who is without a second, who is not subject to decay, is without a beginning, whose form is endless, who is the beginning and the eternal Purusha. Yet he is a person possessing the beauty of blooming youth.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, only the tip of the toe of whose lotus feet is approached by the yogis who aspire after the transcendental and betake themselves to pranayama by drilling the respiration, or by the jnanis who try to find out the non-differentiated Brahman by the process of elimination of the mundane extending over thousands of millions of years.
He is an undifferentiated entity, as there is no distinction between potency and the possessor thereof. In his work of creation of millions of worlds, his potency remains inseparable. All the universes exist in him, and he is present in his fullness in every one of the atoms that are shattered throughout the universe at one and the same time. Such is the primeval Lord whom I adore.
I adore the same Govinda, the primeval Lord, who knows praise men who are imbued with devotion, sing the mantra suktas told by the Vedas by gaining their appropriate beauty, greatness, thrones, conveyances, and ornaments.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, residing in his own realm, Goloka, with Radha, resembling his own spiritual figure, the embodiment of the ecstatic potency possessed of the 64 artistic activities, in the company of her confidantes, Sakhis, embodiments of the extensions of her bodily form, permeated and vitalized by his ever blissful spiritual rasa.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is Shamachandra Krishna himself with inconceivable innumerable attributes, whom the pure devotees see in their heart of hearts with the eye of devotion tinged with the salve of love.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who manifested himself personally as Krishna and the different avatars in the world in the forms of Rama, Narasimha, Vamana, etc. as his subjective portions.
Bhagavad Gita 7.1 purport. Srinvatam swakata Krishna punya sravana kirtanaha hridayanta histo hi apadrani vidnoti suhrat satam nashta prayesva abadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैस्तिकी तदा राजास्तमुभाव कामलोभास्तयाश्चये चेत एतैरनावेदं सितं सत्त्वे प्रसीदति एवं प्रसन्नमनसो भगवद्भक्तियोगतः भगवत्तत्त्वविज्ञानं मुक्तसङ्गस्य जायते विद्यते हृदयग्रन्थिश्चिद्यन्ते सर्वसंशयाः क्षीयन्ते च कर्माणि दृष्टा एवात्मनीश्वरे.
To hear about Krishna from Vedic literatures or to hear from him directly through the Bhagavad Gita is itself righteous activity. And for one who hears about Krishna, Lord Krishna, who is dwelling in everyone's heart, acts as a best wishing friend and purifies the devotee who constantly engages in hearing of him. In this way, a devotee naturally develops his dormant transcendental knowledge. As he hears more about Krishna from the Bhagavatam and from the devotees, he becomes fixed in the devotional service of the Lord. By development of devotional service, one becomes freed from the modes of passion and ignorance, and thus material lust and avarice are diminished. When these impurities are wiped away, the candidate remains in his position of pure goodness, becomes enlivened by devotional service, and understands the science of God perfectly. Thus, Bhakti Yoga severs the hard knot of material affection and enables one to come at once to the stage of Asamsayam Samagram, understanding of the Supreme Absolute Truth Personality of Godhead, Bhagavatam 1.2.17 to 21. Therefore, only by hearing from Krishna or from his devotee in Krishna consciousness can one understand the science of Krishna.
Hare Krishna. We'll continue reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 9, Text 13. ब्रजिष्णुभिर्या परितो विराजते लसाद् विमानावालिभिर्महात्मनां विद्योतमानाः प्रमोदत्तमायुद्भिः सविद्युद् अब्रावालिभिर्यथा नभाः. Brajishnubihi, by the glowing, Yaha, the Vaikuntha Lokas, Parita, surrounded by, Virajate, thus situated, Lasat, brilliant, Vimana, airplanes, Avalibihi, assemblage, Maha Atmana, of the great devotees of the Lord, Vidyotmanaha, beautiful like lightning, Pramada, ladies, Uttama, celestial, Adbudihi, Adjubihi, by complexion, Savidyut, with electric lightning, Abraha Libihi, with clouds in the sky, Yatha, as it were, Nabaha, the sky. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Vaikuntha planets are also surrounded by various airplanes, are all glowing and brilliantly situated. These airplanes belonging to the great Mahatmas are devotees of the Lord. The ladies are as beautiful as lightning because of their celestial complexions, and all these combined together appear just like the sky decorated with both clouds and lightning. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. It appears that in the Vaikuntha planets there are also airplanes brilliantly glowing, and they are occupied by the great devotees of the Lord, with the ladies of celestial beauty as brilliant as lightning. As there are airplanes, so there must be different types of carriages like airplanes, but they may not be driven machines, as we have experienced in this world, because everything is of the same nature of eternity, bliss, and knowledge. The airplanes and carriages are of the same quality as Brahman. Although there is nothing except Brahman, one should not mistakenly think that there is only void and no variegatedness. Thinking like that is due to a poor fund of knowledge. Otherwise, no one would have such a misconception of voidness in Brahman. As there are airplanes, ladies, and gentlemen, so there must be cities and houses and everything else just suitable to the particular planets. One should not carry the ideas of imperfection from this world to the transcendental world, and not take into consideration the nature of the atmosphere as completely free from the influence of time, etc., as described previously.
Text 14. Shriryatra Rupini Urugaya Padayo Karoti Manam Bahudha Vibhutibhi Prinkam Shritaya Kusuma Karanugair Vigiyamana Priyakarma Gayati. Shri, the goddess of fortune, Yatra, in the Vaikuntha planets, Rupini, in her transcendental form, Urugaya, the Lord, who is sung of by the great devotees. Padayo, under the lotus feet of the Lord. Karoti, does. Manam, respectful services. Bahuda, in diverse paraphernalia. Vibhutibhi, accompanied by her personal associates. Prenkam, movement of enjoyment. Shrita, taken shelter of. Ya, who. Kusumakara, spring. Anugai, by the black bees. Vigiyamana, being followed by the songs. Priya Karma, activities of the dearmost. Gayati, singing. Translation. The goddess of fortune, in her transcendental form, is engaged in the loving service of the Lord's lotus feet, and being moved by the black bees, followers of spring, she is not only engaged in variegated pleasure, service to the Lord along with her constant companions, but is also engaged in singing the glories of the Lord's activities.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 9, Text 15. Tadarsha tatra khila satvatam patim Sriya patim ignapatim jagatpatim Sunanda nanda prabhalarhanadbihi swaparshadagrai parisevitam vibhu. Dadarsha, Brahma saw Tatra, there in Vaikuntha Loka, Akhila, entire, Satvatam of the great devotees, Patim, the Lord, Shriya of the goddess of fortune, Patim, the Lord, Igna of sacrifice, Patim, the Lord, Jagat of the universe, Patim, the Lord, Sunanda, Nanda, Prabala, Arhana, Adibihi, by them, Swaprasada, own associates, Agrai, by the foremost, Parisevitam, being served in transcendental love. Vibhum, the great Almighty. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Lord Brahma saw in the Vaikuntha planets the personality of Godhead, who is the Lord of the entire devotee community, the Lord of the goddess of fortune, the Lord of all sacrifices, and the Lord of universe, and who is served by the foremost servitors like Nanda, Sunanda, Prabala, and Arahana, his immediate associates. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. When we speak of a king, it is naturally understood that the king is accompanied by his confidential associates like his secretary, private secretary, aide de camp, ministers, and advisors. So also, when we see the Lord, we see him with his different energies, associates, confidential servitors, etc. So the Supreme Lord, who is the leader of all living entities, the Lord of all devotee sects, the Lord of all opulences, the Lord of sacrifices, and the enjoyer of everything in his entire creation, is not only the Supreme Person, but also is always surrounded by his immediate associates, all engaged in their loving transcendental service to him.
Text 60. Bhritya prasadabhimukham drigasavam prasanna hasaruna lochananam Kiritinam kundalinam chaturbujam Pitam sukham vakshasi lakshitam shriya. Bhritya, the servitor. Prasada, affection. Abhimukam, favorably facing. Drik, the very sight. Ashavam, an intoxication. Prasanna, very much pleased. Hasa, smile. Aruna, reddish. Lochana, eyes. Ananam, face. Kiritinam, with helmet. Kundalinam, with earrings. Chatubujam, with 4 hands. Pita, yellow. Amshukam, dress. Vakshasi, on the chest. Lakshmitam, marked. Shriya, with the goddess of fortune. Translation. The personality of Godhead, seen leaning favorably towards his loving servitors, his very sight intoxicating and attractive, appeared to be very much satisfied. He had a smiling face, decorated with an enchanting reddish hue. He was dressed in yellow robes and wore earrings and a helmet on his head. He had 4 hands, and his chest was marked with the lines of the good fortune, goddess of fortune. Purport. In the Padma Purana, Uttarakanda, there is a full description of the Yoga Pita, or the particular place where the Lord is in audience to his eternal devotees. In that Yoga Pita, the personifications of religion, knowledge, opulence, and renunciation are all seated at the lotus feet of the Lord. The 4 Vedas, namely Rig, Sama, Yajur, and Atharva, are present there personally to advise the Lord. The 16 energies headed by Chanda are all present there. Chanda and Kumuda are the first 2 doorkeepers. At the middle door are the doorkeepers named Bhadra and Subhadra, and at the last door are Jaya and Vijaya. There are other doorkeepers also named Kumuda, Kumudaksha, Pundarika, Vamana, Shankukarna, Sarvanetra, Sumukha, etc. The Lord's palace is well decorated and protected by the above mentioned doorkeepers.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 9, Text 17. अध्याराहानियासनम् आस्थितं परं वृतं चतुः षोडश पञ्च शक्तिभिः युक्तं भागैश्वैर् इतरत्र चाद्रुवै स्व एव धामं रामामानम् ईश्वरम् Adhyarhaniya, greatly worshipable. Asanam, throne. Ashitam, seated on it. Param, the supreme. Vratam, surrounded by. Chatuhu, four, namely. Prakriti, Purusha, Mahatan, ego. Sodasa, the 16. Pancha, the 5. Sakti bihi, by the energies. Suktam, empowered with. Bhagai is opulences. Swahei, personal. Itaratra, the other minor prowess. Cha, also. Adruvai, temporary. Sway, own. Eva, certainly. Dhaman, abode. Ramamanam, enjoying. Ishwaram, the Supreme Lord. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The Lord was seated on his throne and was surrounded by different energies like the 4, the 16, the 5, and the 6 natural opulences, along with other insignificant energies of the temporary character. But he was a factual Supreme Lord, enjoying his own abode. Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Purport. The Lord is naturally endowed with his 6 opulences. Specifically, he is the richest, he is the most powerful, he is the most famous, he is the most beautiful, he is the greatest in knowledge, and he is the greatest renouncer as well. And for his material creative energies, he is served by 4, namely the principles of Prakriti, Purusha, Mahat Tattva, and ego. He is also served by the 16, namely the 5 elements: earth, water, air, fire, and sky, and the 5 perceptive sense organs: the eye, ear, nose, tongue, and skin, the 5 working sense organs: the hand, the leg, the stomach, the evacuation outlet, and the genitals, and the mind. The 5 includes the sense objects, namely from form, taste, smell, sound, and touch. All these 25 items serve the Lord in the material creation, and all of them are personally present to serve the Lord. The insignificant opulences numbering 8, the Ashta Siddhis, attained by yogis for temporary overlordship, are also under his control, but he is naturally full with all such powers without any effort, and therefore he is the Supreme Lord. The living being, by severe penance and performance of bodily exercises, can temporarily attain some wonderful power, but that does not make him the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord, by his own potency, is unlimitedly more powerful than any yogi. He is unlimitedly more learned than any jnani. He is unlimitedly richer than any wealthy person. He is unlimitedly more beautiful than any beautiful living being, and he is unlimitedly more charitable than any philanthropist. He is above all. No one is equal to or greater than him, nor can anyone reach his level of perfection in any of the above powers by any amount of penance or yogic demonstration. The yogis are dependent on his mercy. Out of his immensely charitable disposition, he can award some temporary powers to the yogis because of the yogis hankering after them, but to his unalloyed devotees who do not want anything from the Lord save and accept his transcendental service. The Lord is so pleased that he gives himself in exchange for unalloyed service.
Tadarshanahlada pariplutantaro hrishyatanu prema barashtrulocanaha nanamapadambujam asya vishwashrug yat paramahamsena patadi gamyate. Tat, by that audience of the Lord, Darshina, audience, Ahlada, joy, Paripluta, overwhelmed, Antaraha, within the heart, Rishyas, full in ecstasy, Tanu, body, Prema bara, in full transcendental love, Ashru, tears, Lochanaha, in the eyes, Nanama, bowed down, Pada Ambujam, under the lotus feet, Asya of the Lord, Vishwashruk, the creator of the universe, yet which Paramahamsena, by the great liberated soul, Pata, the path, Adigamyate, is followed. Translation: Lord Brahma, thus seeing the personality of Godhead in his fullness, was overwhelmed with joy within his heart, and thus in full transcendental love and ecstasy, his eyes filled with tears of love. He thus bowed down before the Lord. That is the way of the highest perfection for the living being, Paramahamsa. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. In the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated that this great literature is meant for the Paramahamsas. Paramo Nirmacharanam Satam. The Srimad Bhagavatam is meant for persons completely free from malice. In the conditioned life, the malicious life begins from the top, namely, bearing malice against the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Personality of Godhead is an established fact in all the revealed scriptures, and in the Bhagavad Gita, the personal feature of the Supreme Lord is especially mentioned, so much so that the last portion of the great literature has emphatically stressed that one should surrender unto the Personality of Godhead to be saved from the miseries of life. Unfortunately, persons with impious backgrounds do not believe in the Personality of Godhead, and everyone wants to become God himself without any qualification. This malicious nature in the conditioned soul continues even up to the stage when a person wants to be one with the Lord. And thus, even the greatest of the empiric philosophers, speculating on becoming one with the Supreme Lord, cannot become a Paramahamsa because the malicious mind is there. Therefore, the Paramahamsa stage of life can be attained only by those who are fixed in the practice of Bhakti Yoga. This Bhakti Yoga begins if a person has a firm conviction that simply discharging devotional service to the Lord in full transcendental love can elevate him to the highest perfectional stage of life. Brahmaji believed in this art of Bhakti Yoga. He believed in the instruction of the Lord to execute tapa, and he discharged the function with great penance and thus achieved the great success of seeing the Vaikuntha Lokas and the Lord also by personal experience. No one can reach the abode of the Supreme Lord by any mechanical means of the mind or machine, but one can reach the abode of the Vaikuntha Loka simply by following the process of Bhakti Yoga, because the Lord can be realized only through the Bhakti Yoga process. Lord Brahmaji was actually sitting on his lotus feet, and from there, by executing the process of Bhakti Yoga in great seriousness, he could see the Vaikuntha Lokas with all variegatedness as well as the Lord in person and his associates. Following in the footsteps of Lord Brahma, any person, even up to this day, can attain the same perfection by following the path of Paramahamsa as recommended herein. Lord Chaitanya also approved of this method of self-realization for men in this age. One should first with all conviction believe in the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna, and without making efforts to realize him by speculative philosophy. One should prefer to hear about him from the Srimad Bhagavad Gita and later from the text of the Srimad Bhagavatam. One should hear such discourses from a person Bhagavatam and not from the professional man or from the karmi or gnani or yogi. That is the secret of learning the science. One does not need to be in the renounced order of life. He can remain in his present condition of life, but he must search out the association of a bona fide devotee of the Lord and hear from him the transcendental message of the Lord with faith and conviction. That is the path of Paramahamsa recommended herein. Amongst various holy names of the Lord, he is also called Ajita, or one who can never be conquered by anyone else, yet he can be conquered by the Paramahamsa path, as practically realized and shown by the great spiritual master Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma has personally recommended this Paramahamsa Pantaha in his own words as follows. Gnani prayasam upadasya namanta eva jivanti shanmukaritam bhavadiyavartam sthani siti stita shrutikatam tanuvan manobhi ye prayaso jito pi asitais trilokyam. Lord Brahma said, O my Lord Krishna, a devotee who abandons the path of empiric philosophical speculation aimed at merging in the existence of the Supreme and engages himself in hearing your glories and activities from a bona fide sadhu or saint, and who lives in an honest life in the occupational engagement of his social life, can conquer your sympathy and mercy, even though you are Ajita or unconquerable. Bhagavatam 10th canto 14th chapter 3rd verse. That is the path of the Paramahamsas, which was personally followed by Lord Brahma and later recommended by him for attaining perfect success in life.
तं तं प्रियं तं प्रियमाणं समुपस्थितं कविं प्रजा विसर्गे निजशासनर्हरणं भाभस एषत् स्मिता शोषिसा गिरा प्रिया प्रियं प्रीत मनः करे स्पृशन them unto Lord Brahma. Priyanama Priyamanam. Some worthy of being dear. Sampasitam. Being presented before Kavim, the great scholar, Praja, living entities, Visarge, in the matter of creation, Nija, his own, Sasana, control, Shochisha, with enlightening, Gira, words, Priyaha, the beloved, Priyam, the counterpart of love. Prita Manaha, being very much pleased. Kare, by the hand. Sprishan, shaking. Translation. And seeing Brahma present before him, the Lord accepted him as worthy to create living beings, to be controlled as he desired. And thus, being much satisfied with him, the Lord shook hands with Brahma and said, slightly smiling, addressed him thus. Purport. The creation of the material world is not blind or accidental. The living entities, wherever conditioned, or Nitya Bada, are thus given a chance for liberation under the guidance of his own representative, like Brahma. The Lord instructs Brahma in Vedic knowledge in order to diffuse this knowledge to the conditioned souls. The conditioned souls are forgetful souls in their relationship with the Lord, and thus a period of creation in the process of dissemination of the Vedic knowledge are necessary activities of the Lord. Lord Brahma has a great responsibility in delivering the conditioned souls, and therefore he is very dear to the Lord. Brahma also does his duty very perfectly, not only by generating the living entities, but also by spreading his party for reclaiming the fallen souls. The party is called the Brahma Sampradaya, and any member of this party to date is naturally engaged in reclaiming the fallen souls back to Godhead, back home. The Lord is very much anxious to get back his parts and parcels, as stated in the Bhagavad Gita. No one is more dear than the one who takes the task of reclaiming the fallen souls back to Godhead. There are many renegades from the Brahma Sampradaya whose only business is to make men more forgetful of the Lord and thus entangle them more and more in material existence. Such persons are never dear to the Lord, and the Lord sends them deeper into the darkness region of matter, so that such envious demons may not be able to know the Supreme Lord. Anyone, however, preaching the mission of the Lord is in the line of the Brahma Sampradaya, is always dear to the Lord. And the Lord, being satisfied with such a preacher of the authorized bhakti cult, shakes hand with him in great satisfaction.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 9, Text 20. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Tvayaham Toshita Samyag Veda Garbha Sishrikasya Chiram Bhritena Tapasa Dustosha Kuta Yoginam. Shri Bhagavanuvacha, the all beautiful personality of Godhead said, Tvaya, by you, Aham, I am, Toshita, pleased, Samyak, complete, Veda Garbha, impregnated with the Vedas, Shishrikshaya, for creating, Chiram, for a long time, Bhritena, accumulated, Tapasa, by penance, Dustosha, very hard to please, Kuta Yoginam, for the pseudo mystics. The beautiful personality of Godhead. Translation. The beautiful personality of Godhead addressed Lord Brahma, O Brahma, impregnated with the Vedas, I am very much pleased with your long accumulated penance with the desire for creation. Hardly am I pleased with the pseudo mystics. Purport. There are two kinds of penance, one for sense gratification and the other for self-realization. There are many pseudo mystics who undergo severe penances for their own satisfaction, and there are others who undergo severe penances for the satisfaction of the senses of the Lord. For example, the penances undertaken to discover nuclear weapons will never satisfy the Lord, because such a penance is never satisfactory. By nature's own way, everyone has to meet death, and if such a process of death is accelerated by anyone's penances, there is no satisfaction for the Lord. The Lord wants everyone of his parts and parcels to attain eternal life and blessed by coming home to Godhead. And the whole material creation is meant for that objective. Brahma underwent severe penances for that purpose, namely to regulate the process of creation so that the Lord might be satisfied. Therefore, the Lord was very much pleased with him, and for this, Brahma was impregnated with Vedic knowledge. The ultimate purpose of Vedic knowledge is to know the Lord and not to misuse the knowledge for any other purposes. Those who do not utilize Vedic knowledge for that purpose are known as Kuta yogis, or pseudo-transcendentalists who spoil their lives with ulterior motives.
Text 21. Varam Varaya Bhadram Te Vareshamabi Vanchitam Brahman Shreya Parishrama Pumsam Darshinavadihi. Varam, benediction. Varaya, just ask from. Bhadram, auspicious. Te, unto you. Vara Isham, the giver of all benediction. Mom, from me. Abhivanchitam, wishing. Brahman, O Brahma. Shreya, the ultimate success. Parishrama, for all penances. Pumsam, for everyone. Matmai, Darshana, realization. Avadi, up to the limit of. Translation. I wish you good luck. O Brahma, you may ask from me, the giver of all benediction, all that you may desire. You may know that the ultimate benediction, as a result of all penances, is to see me by realization. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The ultimate realization of the Supreme Truth is knowing and seeing face to face the personality of Godhead. Realization of the impersonal Brahman and localized Paramatma features of the personality of Godhead is not ultimate realization. When one realizes the Supreme Lord, one does not struggle hard to perform such penances. The next stage of life is to discharge devotional service to the Lord just to satisfy Him. In other words, one who has realized and seen the Supreme Lord has attained all perfection because everything is included in that highest perfectional stage. The impersonalists and the pseudo mystics, however, cannot reach this state.
Text 22. Manistano bhavoyam mama Manistano bhavoyam mama lokavalokanam yad upar shrutya rahasi chakarta paramam tapaha. Manishita, ingenuity, anubhavaha, perception. I am this, my, mama, my, loka, abode. Avalokanam, seeing by actual experience, yet because upashrutya, hearing, rahasi, in great penance, chakarta, having performed, paramam, highest, tapaha, penance. Translation: the highest profession. The highest perfectional ingenuity is the personal perception of my abodes, and this has been possible because of your submissive attitude in the performance of severe penance according to my order. Purport: the highest perfectional stage of life is to know the Lord by actual perception. By the grace of the Lord, this can be attained by anyone who is willing to discharge the act of a devotional service to the Lord as enjoined in the revealed scriptures that are standard and accepted by the bona fide acharyas or spiritual masters. For example, the Bhagavad Gita in the proved Vedic literature accepted by all the great acharyas such as Shankara, Shankara, Ramanuja. Always be mindful of him. They're always of it be his devotees, always worshipping him only. Home, and always bow down before the Lord. By doing so, one is sure to go back to home, back to Godhead, and without any doubt in other places also in the same order is there that one give up all other engagements and fully surrender unto the Lord without hesitation, and the Lord will give such a devotee all protection. These are the secrets of attaining the highest perfectional stage. Lord Brahma exactly followed these principles without any superiority and complex, and thus he attained the highest perfectional stage of experiencing the abode of the Lord and the Lord himself with all his paraphernalia. Impersonal realization of the effulgence of the Lord's body is not the highest perfectional stage, nor is the stage of Paramatma realization. The word manisita is significant. Everyone is falsely or factually proud of his so-called learning, but the Lord says that the highest perfectional stage of learning is to know Him and His abode, devoid of all illusion.
Text 23. Pratyadishtam maya tatra tvayi karma vimohite tapo me hridayam sakshat atmaham tapason gaha. Naga. Pratyadishtam, ordered, maya, by me, tatra, because of, tvayi, unto you, karma, duty, vimohite, being perplexed, tapa, presence, me, me, hridayam, heart, sakshat, directly, atma, life and soul, aham, myself, tapasa, of one who is engaged in penance, anagha, O sinless one. Translation. O sinless Brahma, you may know from me that it was I who first ordered you to undergo penance when you were perplexed in your duty. Such penance is my heart and soul, and therefore penance and I are non-different. Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The penance by which one can see the personality of Godhead face to face is to be understood as devotional service to the Lord and nothing else, because only by discharging devotional service in transcendental love can one approach the Lord. Such penance is the internal potency of the Lord and is non-different from Him. Such acts of internal potency are exhibited by non-attachment for material enjoyment. The living entities are engaged in the conditions of material bondage because of their propensity of overlordship. But by engagement in the devotional service of the Lord, one becomes detached from this enjoying spirit. The devotees automatically become detached from worldly enjoyment, and this detachment is the result of perfect knowledge. Therefore, the penance of devotional service includes knowledge and detachment, and that is the manifestation of the transcendental potency. One cannot enjoy material illusory prosperity if he desires to return home, back to Godhead. One who has no information of the transcendental bliss in the association of the Lord foolishly desires to enjoy this temporary material happiness. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said that if someone sincerely wants to see the Lord and at the same time wants to enjoy this material world, he is considered to be a fool only. One who wants to remain here in the material world for material enjoyment has no business entering into the eternal kingdom of God. The Lord favors such a foolish devotee by snatching all that he may possess in the material world. If such a foolish devotee of the Lord tries to recoup his position, then the merciful Lord again snatches away all that he may have possessed. By such repeated failures in material prosperity, he becomes very unpopular with his family members and friends. In the material world, the family members and friends honor persons who are very successful in accumulating wealth by any means. The foolish devotee of the Lord is thus put into forcible penance by the grace of the Lord, and at the end, the devotee becomes perfectly happy, being engaged in the service of the Lord. Therefore, penance and devotional service of the Lord, either by voluntary submission or by being forced by the Lord, is necessary for attaining perfection. And thus, such penance is the internal potency of the Lord. One cannot, however, be engaged in the penance of devotional service without being completely free from all sins. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, only a person who is completely free from all reactions of sins can engage himself in the worship of the Lord. Brahmaji was sinless, and therefore he faithfully discharged the advice of the Lord. Tapa, tapa, and the Lord, being satisfied with him, awarded him the desired results. Therefore, only love and penance combined can please the Lord, and thus one is able to attain his complete mercy. He directs the sinless, and the sinless devotee attains the highest perfection of life.
Text 24. Srujami tapasaivedam grasami tapasa punah Bibarmi tapasa vishwam Viryam me duscharam tapa Srujami I create tapasa by the same energy of penance. Eva certainly. Idam this Grisami tapasa I do withdraw also by the same energy. Punaha again Bibarmi do maintain tapasa by penance. Vishwam the cosmos Viryam potency. May my Duscharam severe Tapa penance. Translation I create this cosmos by such penance. I maintain it by the same energy, and I withdraw it all by the same energy. Therefore, the potential power is penance only. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. In executing penance, one must be determined to return home back to Godhead and must decide to undergo all types of tribulation for that end. Even for material prosperity, name, and fame, one has to undergo severe types of penance. Otherwise, no one can become an important figure in this material world. Why then are there severe types are there severe types of penance for the perfection of devotional service? An easy-going life and attainment of perfection in transcendental realization cannot go together. The Lord is more clever than any living entity. Therefore, He wants to see how painstaking the devotee is in devotional service. The order is received from the Lord, either directly or through the bona fide spiritual master. And to execute that order, however painstaking, is a severe type of penance. One who follows the principle rigidly is sure to achieve success in attaining the Lord's mercy. Abhi 25. 25. I can't give you all reading minutes, Abhi. We are not doing fully. Come back here. Can you come here?
Brahmovacha Bhagavan Sarvabhutanam Adya Adyaksho Vashtito Guham Vedahi Apratirudena Pragnanena Chikirishta Shitam Brahma Uvacha, Lord Brahma said, Bhagavan, O my Lord, Sarvabhutanam, of all living entities, Adyakshaha, director, Avastitaha, situated, Guham, within the heart, Veda, no, he certainly, Apratirudena, without hindrance, Pragnanena, by superintelligence, Chikirishtam, in endeavors. Translation. Lord Brahma said, O personality of Godhead, you are situated in everywhere and every living entity's heart as the supreme director, and therefore you are awake of all endeavors by your... Yeah, I said that. You are aware of all endeavors by your superior intelligence without any hindrance whatsoever. Purport. The Bhagavad Gita confirms that the Lord is situated in everyone's heart as the witness, and as such He is the supreme director of sanction. The director is not the enjoyer of the fruits of action, for without the Lord's sanction no one can enjoy. For example, in a prohibited area, a habituated director drunkard puts forward his application to the director of drinking, and the director, considering his case, sanctions only a certain amount of liquor for drinking. Similarly, the whole material world is full of many drinkards, in the sense that each and every one of the living entities has something in his mind to enjoy, and everyone desires the fulfillment of his desires very strongly. The Almighty Lord, being very kind to the living entity, as the Father is kind to the desires in men. In the living entity does not actually enjoy, but he serves the body whims unnecessarily without profit. The drunkard does not deserve any habit and does not wish to get out of it. The merciful Lord gives him all facilities to fulfill such desires. The impersonalist recommended that one should become desireless, and others recommended banishing other desires altogether. That is impossible. No one can banish desires altogether because desiring is the living symptom. Without having desires, a living entity would be dead, which he is not. Therefore, living conditions are desire and desire go together. Perfection of desires may be achieved when one desires to serve the Lord, and the Lord also desires that every living entity banish all personal desires and cooperate with his desires. That is the last instruction of the Bhagavad Gita. Brahmaji agreed to the proposal, and therefore he has given the responsible post of creating generations in the vacant universe. Oneness with the Lord can therefore consist of dovetailing one's desires with the desires of the Supreme Lord. That makes for the perfection of all desires. The Lord, as the super soul in the heart of every living being, knows what is the mind of each living entity, and no one can do anything without the knowledge of the Lord within. By his superior intelligence, the Lord gives everyone the chance to fulfill his desires to the fullest extent, and the resultant reaction is also awarded by the Lord.
Canto 2, Chapter 9, Text 26. Tatapi nata manasya nata nataya natitam paravare yatha rupe janiyam tetva arupina. Tatapi, in spite of that, Natha Manasya, of the one who is asking for. Natha, O Lord, Nathya, please award. Nathitam, as it is desired. Paravare, in the matter of mundane and transcendental. Yatha, as it is. Rupe, in the form. Janiyam, may it be known. Te, your, tu, but. Arupina, one who is formless. Translation. In spite of that, my Lord, I am praying to you to kindly fulfill my desire. May I please be informed how, in spite of your transcendental form, you assume the mundane form, although you have no such form at all.
Text 27, Canto 2, Chapter 9. Yadatma maya yogina nana shakti upabhramitam vilumpan visrujan grahnan bibrad atmanam atmanam. Yada, as much as. Atma, own. Maya, potency. Yogina, by combination. Nana, various. Shakti, energy. Upabramhitam, by combination and permutation. Vilumpan, in the matter of annihilation. Visrujan, in the matter of generation. Grihnan, in the matter of acceptance. Bibrat, in the matter of maintenance. Atmanam, own self. Atmana, by the self. Translation. And please inform me how you, by your own self, manifest different energies for annihilation, generation, acceptance, and maintenance by combination and permutation. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The whole manifestation is the Lord Himself, but diffusion of His different energies only, namely the internal, external, and marginal, just as the sunlight is the manifestation of the energy of the sun planet. Such energy is simultaneously one with and different from the Lord, just as the sunshine is simultaneously one with and different from the sun planet. The energies are acting by combination and permutation by the indication of the Lord, and the acting agents like Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva are also different incarnations of the Lord. In other words, there is nothing but the Lord, and still the Lord is different from all such manifestive activities. How it is so will be explained later on. Grandaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai.
Today we read up to Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 2, Chapter 9, Text 27. We will continue reading tomorrow from Text 28 forward. Hare Krishna. We will start Guru Puja.
Shri Guru Charana Padma केवल भक्ति सद्मा
श्री गुरु चरण पद्मा केवल भक्ति सद्मा
बंद मुई सावधान माते जहरा प्रसादे भाई ए भवा तुरिया जाय कृष्ण प्राप्ति हो जहा होते
कृष्ण प्राप्ति हो जहाँ होते
गुरुमुख पद्मावख्या चिते ते कोरिया क्या
गुरुमुख पद्मावख्या चिते कोरिया क्या
अरना कोरी हो माने आशा श्री गुरु चराने रति ऐसे उत्तम गति जे प्रसादे पूरे सर्व आशा चक्षुदान दिलो जे जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशित प्रेम भक्ति जहा होते अविद्या विनाश जाते वेदे गाय जहर चरितो श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु आदम जनर बंधु लोकनाथ लोकेर जीवाना हा हा प्रभु कुरु दया देह मोरे पद छाया ए बीजास गुसु त्रिभुवना श्रील प्रभुपाद पतित पवना जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांता स्वामी निति नामिने
श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत
नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादिशतारिणे
नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादिशतारिणे
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गणधर शिवसदि गौर भक्त वृंद
श्री कृष्ण
चैतन्य
नित्यानंद
नित्यानंद
श्री अद्वैत गणधर शिवसदि गौर भक्तवृंद
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे
नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल
जय गौर हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल
जय श्री प्रभुपाद की जय
static remains from him. Ignorance is by him. Ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scriptures sing of his character. Master is the ocean of mercy, the friend of the poor and Lord, Master of the devotees. O Master, be merciful unto us. Give us the shade of your lotus feet. Your fame is spread all over three worlds. We take the shelter of your lotus feet. Okay, I heard you.
I didn't realize that. I'm sorry, Nana.
No, I'm almost done. Dad, tomorrow after I finish all of week one, can I get 30 minutes? Please, there's three. And they all have 12, so I can get 30 minutes. Daddy, Daddy, can I get 30 minutes because we have
Nabi, Nabi, Father Prabhu asked for help in the kitchen.
Okay.
Packing key.
You don't have class?
Huh?
You don't have class today?
8:30. We Hindi class cancel.
Okay. Abhi, don't open it because there is an event happening here. So we have to